second thematic area is around strengthening young women's political participation. And with this one, we do provide similar trainings around leadership, but we go an extra mile to promote young women's engagement with current leadership so that they are exposed, they understand the requirements of the different decision-making spaces that they want to enter, and already start creating networks with, sitting leaders in various positions.
Everyone, they were coming as individuals. I want to go through this transformative leadership training to meet other women, to meet other young women, to meet other women who have got the same vision and goal at the end of the day, which is kuti mukadzi ange ari panzvimbo yechigaro.
If you want to contest elections in Zimbabwe, it's important for you to make up your mind exactly how you want to do it. Do you want to go solo? Do you want to do it as an independent candidate? Or do you want to ride on a party ticket? One of the things that I regret the most about the nature of politics in the country is that we talk about all these things that we say, strategies that women can employ in order for them to increase the numbers in parliament, the numbers in politics, and this and that. We go at length. There are even PhDs on it, there are even academic papers. But you see, at the end of the day, if you are going to run on a party ticket, then the primary elections becomes the golden gate that if you don't pass through, then you won't be able to get yourself even getting a chance to be elected. The mistake that many of us make is that when we see the date for the sitting of the nomination court, we wait until that day to then submit our papers. You are permitted to submit your papers between the period where the president proclaims an election and the sitting of the nomination court. You can seek out the ZEC officials, so that gives you typically more than 2 weeks to be able to do that. I've seen funny things happening at nomination court processes whereby people get barred from actually then getting to access the actual court. So you should also think about that. Even accessing spaces like nomination court venues is not a walk in the park. Sometimes you do have people that are within the vicinity of those spaces that would want to impede you, especially if you have internal politics happening within your party. You can have a faction dispatching those kind of people to stop you from successfully making your submissions in the nomination court venue. Many female candidates are not able to then launch effective campaigns because they don't have access to the same amount of resources generally with their male counterparts. That's true.
We, at the end of this conference, are going to partner aspiring young women and women candidates with experienced women who are currently in office, in public office right now, and some who've been in office over a couple of years ago. So the partnering is going to lead into a very structured peer-to-peer and intergenerational mentorship where upcoming politicians, young women, are going to learn from women who've come before them. In IYWD, we recognize that the work that we are doing, we're not the first to do this work, and we're not going to be the last. We're actually building on the shoulders of the women who have come before us. And those are the women whom we are bringing into the room and partner them with upcoming politicians.
We tend to fight for limited space when there's so much spaces of playing politics. There are different levels of being involved in politics. One of the most painful things that I have gone through as a public figure is the effect on my children. Role conflict management skills. How do we manage the conflicts on the demands of our times for various activities? We need support groups, networks for emotional stability. Remember, we referred to those who were recalled, those who were expelled, and one day you might be that individual. So you need to prepare yourself to have coping mechanisms. There are no permanent relationships in politics. They are interests. So we need to understand the nature of our relationships in politics. And women have serious problems because we are socialized to be a loving people, a nurturing people. We take people as people. We don't usually separate our personal, loving, caring with the functional aspect of relationships. Men are very different. They can be in a board meeting and call each other whatever names. The moment they get out of that door, you don't know it, you can't even believe it. You need networks inside and outside politics. I used to go to funerals at night, kunorara kumariro. And you know, when we are sleeping in those funeral places before COVID, there will be so many people and so many people talking. They think nobody is hearing them, and then you hear what people are actually thinking. Sometimes they would even be backbiting about me. It is important, in my opinion, to have networks outside politics, inside politics, so that you stay in touch with reality.
The three advantages of going into politics as a married person: you become a decision maker, you gain respect in the family and in the society, you gain knowledge.
The disadvantage is your marriage is threatened with divorce. It affects your parental duties. There's a void in your children's lives.
For the advantages, you have time to experience and to make mistakes, and then you also have the most proximate attention from the active population, which is also the young and youthful population. Then you have time to strategize and to implement.
Wherever we are, let it be testimony that we have gone through a transformational leadership process, and we need to see that being practiced as well where we go.
I think we are leaving this place better than what we were when we came in. And I just wanted to say congratulations to you all.
I want to believe the drive why you are vying for office is because you want to see development, because you are pained by what you are saying, and you see yourself as a change agent. So I would really want to congratulate the young women that have braved themselves and say, we want to take this thing.
This should not end here. Let's continue and carry on the conversations. Let's continue to support each other.
As the program is going to continue all the way until 2023, we're going to continue on a parallel program of advocating for the enactment of a gender equality law. Our constitution, according to section 56 and section 80, they actually speak to the rights of women to participate and to be represented in all socio-economic and political processes. And in line with that, you know, working with IYWD, working with WILSA, the Women in Law in Southern Africa, and the Zimbabwe Gender Commission, in consultation with other women's rights organizations, we've actually come up with a model gender equality bill that we have tabled, you know, to the Ministry of Women's Affairs, Community and Small and Medium Enterprises as the representative mother body of gender equality laws, for them to actually push for the enactment of that law. So we are going to continuously follow up and continuously advocate and engage various actors in government to make sure that eventually we do have a gender equality bill. And it is our hope and aspiration that we have at least the processes to kickstart the enactment of this law as we go up to 2023, because that sort of like provides us with an environment where we're also able to advocate strongly for the free, fair, and independent participation of women in politics in the upcoming elections across the political divide. So that is also part and parcel of what of the programs that we are running that sort of like really complement our work with the Vote Run Lead campaign. And lastly, we'll be mobilizing women as well to actually go and register to vote and vote for their own women counterparts, because usually we're accused that women don't vote for each other, which of course we know that that is a very patriarchal narrative to divide women. But what we are doing proactively is to actually mobilize as many women as possible to go and register to vote and vote for women, and as they vote for women, to also be very clear in terms of their demands as women voters of what they want women who are then elected into office to actually deliver. So hence the What Women Want campaign, and also the What Women Want demands that you've possibly seen plastered on the walls of the room where we are having this conference. So the What Women Want demands kind of like really feeds into the agenda for gender equality, where the women are supporting their fellow politicians to actually, kind of have clear, concrete deliverables that they should focus on once elected into office after 26 March and also in the upcoming harmonized election in 2023.